The threat hung in the air like a loaded gun, heavy and final, and in that frozen second, my entire life seemed to balance on the edge of a single breath. My boss stood inches away, fury burning in her eyes, power radiating from her posture, and I knew that one more step would end my career, my stability, everything I had built. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in, my heart pounding so loudly it drowned out reason. What happened next was not planned, not logical, and not safe. But it was the most honest moment of my life. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that even broken moments can turn into something meaningful, take a second right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. My name is Matthew Carter, and at that time, my world revolved around a mid-sized marketing firm in downtown Chicago. The United States skyline outside our office windows always looked powerful and promising, but inside those walls, pressure ruled everything. Deadlines, targets, unspoken competition, and the constant fear of being replaced shaped our days. I was just another employee trying to survive, carrying student loans, a sick father back in Ohio, and a quiet dream of proving I mattered. She was my boss, Rachel Bennett, known for her sharp mind, impossible standards, and emotional distance. She never raised her voice unless something had truly crossed a line. That day, something had crossed many lines. A client presentation had collapsed in spectacular fashion, numbers misaligned, trust shaken, and reputations bruised. The blame rolled downhill, as it always does, and landed squarely on me. I stood there absorbing the weight of her anger, the disappointment, the threat of termination hanging unspoken yet painfully clear. My chest burned with injustice because the mistake was not mine alone, but I had been the easiest target. Still, beneath the anger, I saw something else in her eyes that surprised me. It was fear, not of losing money, but of losing control. I had noticed Rachel long before that day, not in a careless way, but in the way you notice someone who carries storms quietly. Late nights when the office lights were mostly off, I saw her staring out at the city, shoulders tense, jaw tight, as if holding back a life she never allowed herself to live. I learned from office whispers that she had built her career alone after a painful divorce, that she trusted no one, that vulnerability was weakness in her world. I respected her strength, but I also saw the cost of it. As her words cut deeper, something inside me broke open. Years of swallowing fear, of staying silent, of letting life happen instead of choosing it, all rose at once. I felt a strange calm settle over me. I knew I could step back, apologize again, beg for mercy, and walk out humiliated but employed. Or I could step forward, not in defiance, but in truth. I chose truth. I moved closer, closing the space that power had created between us. Time seemed to slow, the office noise fading until all that existed was the fragile humanity between two people pretending not to be human. I acted on an impulse that came from exhaustion, admiration, and a deep need to be seen. That moment shattered the rules we lived by. What followed was not a fairy tale transformation. It was chaos. Silence filled the room, thick and terrifying. Consequences arrived swiftly. I was sent home, placed on leave, and forced to confront the reality that my action could cost me everything. Shame fought with relief inside me. For the first time in years, I had not hidden how I felt, and that truth was both liberating and devastating. Days passed in uncertainty. I replayed every second, questioning my sanity, my motives, my future. Then came the meeting request. Neutral ground, human resources, no raised voices, just reality. Rachel entered the room looking different, stripped of authority, visibly tired, and painfully honest. She spoke about loneliness, about living behind walls so long she forgot what connection felt like. She admitted the pressure had crushed her, that control had become her armor. What I had done shocked her, yes, but it also cracked something open she had sealed shut for years. We did not rush into anything reckless. Boundaries were established, accountability accepted. I was not fired. Instead, I was reassigned, and she stepped back to confront her own life. Weeks turned into months, and slowly, carefully, something real grew outside the office walls. We met as equals, not boss and employee, but two flawed people learning how to trust again. Chicago seasons changed around us. Winter melted into spring, and with it, the heaviness inside me eased. My father's health stabilized. My confidence grew. Rachel learned how to laugh without guilt, how to rest without fear. Love did not arrive dramatically. It arrived quietly, in shared meals, long walks by the lake, and conversations that healed old wounds. The moment that nearly ended my career became the moment that saved us both. Not because it was romantic, but because it was honest. It reminded us that titles fade, but humanity remains. That courage sometimes looks reckless before it looks brave. That kindness and second chances can grow in the most unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of a moment when life asked you to choose between fear and truth, please take a moment now to like the video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps these stories reach others who might be standing on the edge of a life-changing decision. Before this story ends, I have one special request for you. Comment below and tell us about a moment when you took a risk that changed your life, even if it terrified you. Your words might inspire someone who feels alone right now. Today, I no longer define myself by fear or by the job titles I once clung to. I define myself by that single step forward. The step that taught me that sometimes losing control is how you finally find yourself.